remember this time last year, we were still pretty warm like we are now. And then all of a sudden, a couple of days before Halloween, it seemed like the bottom just dropped out and it got really cold. So I just want to go ahead and get this maple into the pot before we get really cold, because you do want to focus on protecting the roots from any kind of frost damage. So this is an idea that didn't even occur to me. Some pine cones, and I thought that would be an excellent thing to put down at the bottom of this container. There is a drainage hole down here, but you really, especially with Japanese maples, you want to, minimize any risk that you're going to get waterlogged at the roots, because you do not want root rot. So in place of pebbles or rocks or ceramic pot pieces, I'm just going to put some of these pine cones down here. They're acidic too, right? Because Japanese maples love acidity in the soil. So I think that's a great way to, provide that little buffer layer between the bottom of the pot and the rest of the soil. So hopefully that will, be a good thing long term. The reason that I'm potting this up now is because it's fall. Oh, look at that. It's not too root bound at all, but that's what I would expect. Some of the pine bark mulch is falling off. It's not too root bound at all, but that's what I would expect, because it could theoretically stay in this smaller plastic pot for longer, but I just really wanted to, give it some room since it is growing at a nice little clip here. And the soil. Okay, I am going to put some potting mix over top of the pine cones. See at the bottom there? So I'm just going to take my regular old... Oh! That was some wind right there, wasn't it? You laughing. Isn't that funny? So we'll go ahead and put some of this potting soil mix on the bottom. I probably need to get a little bit more. This is a messy job. Go ahead and sit this in here. Try to do this so that it sits it nicely. I think that works. That's nice. And then I'm just going to go ahead, just when it feels right, when it seems like it's in. And then I'm just going to go in and go around the edges of the plant. And you definitely want to make sure that you do not bury the roots, the root stock, if you will, the grafting point. You'll make sure you want to keep that not buried. You don't want to smother that. There's some kind of rationale for that. I guess it has to do with disease. And of course you want to pack in that potting mix around the plant to eliminate air pockets in the pot. And my thought with this pot is that because it is more wide than it is tall, and it's heavy, that will be stable, when we do have strong winds. Pine bark mulch that I purchased at my local garden center, and I'm going to put some in there. That's just what is recommended as far as mulch types. But again, taking care to keep this part of the tree unsmothered, right? So this will retain moisture, which is super important even in the winter. All right, so this is the tree that I feel like has my name on it. Japanese maple. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that fall color. So when you're planting a Japanese maple like this, you need to consider the site and mounding up the tree when you plant it, because it does not like wet feet. And this particular bed that I put it in does tend to accumulate water and hold on to it. So I just mounded it up, put some pine bark mulch on top, and it's set for winter. decided to take my asparagus fern out of the outdoors, bring it inside, put it in a bath for a little bit, let that root ball soak, and then I'm going to fill this up with potting soil, rough up the roots that you can see circling under here. So I'm going to rough those up and put it in the new potting soil and hopefully rejuvenate it, bring it inside. I'm going to kind of harden it off in reverse. So I'm going to bring it in to make sure it does not die, but you know, it's been on a lot of growth in its little summer vacation. So I definitely don't want to, you know, screw up a good thing that I've had going for a while. I think this fern is a year old or more. So I want to keep it alive, but just definitely have to be mindful that the inside air is dry, especially with the heat on this time of year. I know I should be bringing this inside, but it may be, you know, a week-long process or so. Here at the end of October into November, the weather starts to get cooler, and it's just admiring the little pockets of beauty that you can still spot in the landscape. In my opinion, nothing else compares to the beauty of the changing leaves on the maple tree. This one gets completely red, always this time of year, and I love every minute of it.